Hi everybody, Professor Christina here, and today we're going to be talking about campaign key performance indicators, or KPIs. Now, what is a KPI? A KPI is an indicator that a campaign or any other business activity is performing. Now, you've probably heard the term KPIs before because they apply across multiple business disciplines. An organization overall can have KPIs. Marketing has its own goals that are expressed as KPIs, and other functions within the business, from HR to operations, will all have their own performance indicators. Now, the term key is, as you may have guessed, key here. You have a ton of performance indicators, but only a few of them are critically important, and those are your KPIs, your key performance indicators. What makes a performance indicator important? It reflects the overall health of the business function. So in terms of ad campaigns or marketing campaigns, a key performance indicator would be any measure that tells you that that campaign is driving results, however those results are defined. Whether you're trying to generate leads for an organization, brand awareness, brand lift, or conversions that are not leads, those are your key performance indicators. You can even have two levels of key performance indicators. One is, what are the performance indicators that are key to the organization as a whole? And then another level of KPI is, what are the performance indicators that are important to the campaign team? So what's a good example of that? Let's say you are the marketing manager for a company and you've been tasked by your CEO to deliver double the revenue that you had last year. Her KPI in terms of how she measures the effectiveness of your campaigns is simply, are you driving revenue? But that revenue is very far off in time, and you as the actual marketing team need to look at much more granular KPIs, like which ads are getting the most clicks, which audiences is the ad resonating with the most, which visual, creative, and which offers are getting the most clicks. So those are going to be your internal KPIs. You won't necessarily share those with the CEO because she doesn't care. She just cares, are you delivering results? But internally, you're going to have a much more granular set of KPIs. So when you start thinking about a marketing campaign, you want to think about both of those KPIs. What are the performance indicators that your organization's management is looking to you to deliver? And what are those indicators along the way that you are progressing towards succeeding? That's how you set your KPIs. Think about, what are the indicators that something is working? Is it getting more clicks? Is it generating more leads? Is it generating more social media mentions? Is it performing better on brand awareness surveys? What are those indicators? There's probably going to be a whole set of them, at least internally to your own marketing team. And then there's going to be a smaller set of indicators that are key to your organization as a whole. Remember to focus on what is key. What are the critical indicators? Because the temptation often is, when setting KPIs, to have dozens of them and look at every click, every minute that people spend on your website as an indicator of success. That can be an indicator of success, but it can also distract you by congratulating yourself on moving the needle on things that really don't matter. If it does not matter how long someone spends on your website to whether they spend a lot of their disposable income purchasing products from you, then measuring how long people spend on your website does not really matter. Let's say you're a nonprofit and your goal is to get signatures for a petition against something that you are trying to combat against. Maybe it's a petition to prevent a hazardous waste dump from being located in your community. If someone looks at that petition for 5 minutes and signs it, it's no different than whether they look at it for 5 seconds and sign it. Your KPI is whether people are signing your petition. So avoid looking at what we call vanity metrics. Vanity metrics are metrics that you look at, make you feel good about your organization, like, oh, hey, people are looking at our website an awful lot, but if they're not taking the action you need, it's just a vanity metric. It might make you feel positive that people are looking at your content, but if you're not raising brand awareness or getting a consumer response, it's not a KPI. It's not just a performance indicator, remember, it's a key performance indicator. And finally, you don't want to confuse your key performance indicators when you write them down with your metrics. The key performance indicator is just the measure, whereas the metrics are the number. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're 5'7". Your height is your performance indicator. It's your height indicator. Whether you're 4'3" or 5'7" or 6'4", we all have a height. The height is the key performance indicator. It's the thing that you're going to measure. And then the fact that you're 4'3" or 5'3" or 6'3" is the metric. It's where you come out on that indicator, what your particular measure is in that indicator of height. So if your key performance indicator is signatures, then the metric might be 10,000 signatures on your petition. That's your metric's goal. But the key performance indicator is simply signatures. The key performance indicator is the thing you are measuring, and then the metric is the measurement. And for that measurement, that's where you set your goals. The thing you're measuring, the key performance indicator, how high do you want to go with that? Do you want to get to 10,000 signatures, 100,000, a million signatures? That's your metric. And then the target for that metric, the number that you want to reach, is the goal. So that's how you set your campaign KPIs. Remember that the KPIs have to be key. They have to be really important, either for the entire organization or for optimizing the specific campaign for which you're setting the KPIs. It has to indicate true performance. In other words, not be a vanity metric, but something that actually indicates that you're making progress towards your goals. And then it has to have a metrics goal attached to it, a specific number that you're hoping to be able to measure at the end that will indicate that you've achieved your goals. Once you have all of those articulated, you have your campaign key performance indicators.